I suppose you're wondering what this GoFundMe quest is all about. Basically, it is a David and Goliath battle, and David is me, a lone veteran fighting against Goliath, a large, powerful insurance company with an extensive legal department, which has been bolstered with reinforcements by hiring a major national legal firm to squash my insurance claim for mold infestation in my home, which resulted from water damage after a hurricane. I am a retired military veteran, a decorated Vietnam veteran, and have served a total of 5.5 years in the Middle East. First on active duty in Turkey, and after I retired, I served over 3 years as a contract civilian embedded with the U.S. Air Force 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron at Al Udeid Air Base in the country of Qatar. I faced an epic battle against an overwhelming foe, just like David, as described in 1 Samuel 17. I do not have the financial resources to fight this battle, and this is the reason I seek GoFundMe help. I also believe that if a company treats one veteran badly, they probably are treating a lot of other veterans badly. So this is more than only my battle. It is a battle for all veterans. The Goliath Insurance Company is the USAA Automobile Association, referred to as USAA, which presents itself as a veteran-friendly company. Perhaps you've seen their advertisements on television. It is all marketing. The reality is, at one time, they may have been veteran-friendly, but not now. I've talked to many veterans and found a large number of veterans that are extremely unhappy with the way they were treated by USAA. Here are some of the many who expressed their unhappiness with USAA. At one time, I was wearing a small sign, and that sparked my conversations with a number of veterans. Shown here are some pictures that I took of some of the unhappy veterans that had bad experiences with USAA. I'm not the only one that has had bad experiences with USAA. And I did have a sign, which I used, which you saw in some of those pictures, which some who supported me and experienced bad treatment by USAA expressed their support by holding the sign and allowing me to take their picture. I live in Florida, and because of a major hurricane, my roof was damaged and needed to be replaced. I had a homeowner's policy with USAA. While the roof was exposed during replacement, a sudden rainstorm appeared and completely drenched my home. Rain came through the exposed ceiling and was running down the walls. Most of the pictures on the walls fell to the floor because the wallboard became soft when it was soaked and the mounting brackets couldn't support the pictures. Portions of the ceiling were damaged and had to be replaced. The entire interior of the house was soaked, and most significantly, the rain that poured down the walls drained into the air conditioning registers, thus soaking the inside of the air conditioning duct system. USAA paid for the roof replacement, but never inspected it. Now they claim they have no responsibility for the unprofessional repairs. The replacement of the roof was very unprofessional, since after the replacement, there was a large rainstorm and water came through the ceiling in the living room. The new roof was replaced, but during the next rainstorm, the same thing happened, and the roof repair crew repaired the new roof a second time. The roof still leaked a third time, and I personally applied sealant to the roof valleys and flashing, which seemed to be effective. And I took action. However, there continued to be a problem in other areas of the roof as a result of the poor workmanship when the roof was replaced. As I am preparing this script for this video, there was a rainstorm and rain came pouring in through the ceiling in the back room where the roof replacement was made, but did not meet building codes. USAA claims no responsibility, even though they had the roof evaluated by a roof engineering company. They have refused to give me a copy of that report. After the initial roof replacement, and after some time passed, there was a growing smell, and I discovered extensive mold infestation in the house air conditioning duct system. I filed a claim with USAA. At first, they told me I was covered because I had a mold coverage endorsement to my home insurance policy. Later, they changed their mind and said I was not covered, and as a result, I had to take out a loan to have our air conditioning duct system replaced. I am still paying on that loan. As a part of this, large sections of our ceiling were ripped out to expose the ducts, which were removed and then new ones were installed. Examining the old ducts confirmed the extent of the mold in the ducts. In addition, there are still other remediation repairs that must wait because of financial constraints. I have ripped out some of the more accessible rugs, and I then exposed the cement flooring, which I've covered with throw rugs until I'm able to afford new floor covering. Most troubling is I have other rugs that still need to be removed because they are contaminated with mold spores. Because USAA did not assure my roof was adequately repaired, the mold developed, and as a result, my family has suffered the full range of health problems, from many respiratory problems, skin problems, organ damage, including cancer. There are no federal standards for fungus and mold levels, but it has been well established through medical research that there is a strong cause-effect linkage between many of the different types of mold and health problems. One organ particularly susceptible to damage by mold is the kidneys. In my case, 5 cysts have been identified on my kidneys, one of which appears cancerous. My wife's kidneys failed, and she was on dialysis until her sister donated a kidney for her transplant. At first, when she went on dialysis, she had to go to a dialysis center 3 times a week for treatment. For this treatment, the blood exchange was through a tube that was placed through her chest into her heart. Later, she was changed to a different dialysis system by a different tube that was placed into her stomach, and she was hooked up to a machine for 8 hours every night while she slept at home. So the fluid could be drained out of her stomach into the machine and then replaced back in her stomach every night. After her kidney transplant, one of her kidneys developed a cancerous appearing growth, which was identified at the Moffitt Cancer Center. It was surgically removed. One son suffered from skin problems, and the other had reoccurring headaches. All of us have experienced itching eyes, running noses, and coughing. The most horrendous effect was experienced by my mother, who suffered from dementia. She was living with us in this house. In the final days of her life, her entire strength was used in trying to breathe. She made ungodly gasping noises as she fought for each breath. After 2 days of battle, she died in our room very close to where I am now. I am sure the mold contamination contributed greatly to her severe respiratory distress in the final days of her life. USAA is not a veteran-friendly company. Goliath stated I caused the mold in the home, and that I didn't do proper maintenance on my home, and that my home experienced wear and tear, and that as a consequence, my claim for mold remediation was denied, even though I had an insurance endorsement specifically for mold. Unbelievable. Since my claim was denied, they are still charging me the premium for the insurance endorsement for mold coverage. This is not the action of a veteran-friendly company. I'd like to show you the contract for the insurance coverage of my home. It's a very thick contract. This contract was developed over decades by Goliath and his large legal department. This is to protect Goliath. The mold endorsement is here, which is the mold endorsement which I have been paying on for many years. Even after my claim for mold was denied, I am still paying monthly charges right here for this mold coverage. This is a catch-22 by this not-so-veteran-friendly company. They deny my mold claim, and they keep charging me for this mold endorsement that I pay on every month. The USAA denial of my home claim defies all logical, sensible logic based on the facts. There's no question about the mold contamination. I have had 3 separate home environmental inspections and reports, and USAA has had a 4th conducted. All document the mold contamination. Here is the first mold evaluation that I paid for in the home, and the extensive technical evaluation of all of the sampling that they took in the home. Later, I had a second one performed, which is here. Second company which did a very thorough evaluation. Still, much later in this long protracted process, I had a 3rd evaluation done. As I mentioned, USAA had a 4th one done. All of these document the contamination in the home. There's certainly no question about that. And as the pictures, which you may have seen a little bit earlier, show you the extent of the mold in the duct system. Very strangely, because the USAA evaluation that they did stated I was the cause of the mold contamination. And their third-party evaluation report strangely used words and terms that were exactly the same as in the USAA contract. Very strange. Goliath, USAA, has been fighting me and trying to intimidate me to drop the claim. Besides having their own large legal department, they first hired a local legal firm in my town to represent them. Now that they had their own attack dog, I was bombarded with requests to produce detailed descriptions and receipts for all the expenses I incurred for my remediation efforts. I provided a lot of hard copies and 3 thumb drives loaded with documentation. Then, by contract requirement, I and my family had to submit to examination under oath. It's in the fine print of the contract. This is nothing more than an interrogation required by contract. This is specified in that contract if you read the fine print. I complied, and I was subjected to 4 hours of interrogation, and my wife was subjected to 2 hours of interrogation, which brought her to tears. Here's a copy of the examination under oath of me, which, as I mentioned, was 4 hours of interrogation, which I call examination under oath. Here's my wife's copy of the court reporter's documentation for the 2 hours for my wife. My son also has a report of the effects that he has received, which this was given under oath. Is this a veteran-friendly company? No. My wife and I were treated as criminals. As if this wasn't enough, Goliath, USAA, fired the first local law firm and hired a national firm to represent them, thus upping their attack on my family. Now, I would like to show you what happened literally 30 minutes ago as I'm preparing this GoFundMe video. Federal Express truck came up my driveway and delivered a box. I thought, whoa, Christmas present is coming. I want to show you the box that just came in. This is a large box. And I thought, I wonder who this box is from. I opened the box. It contains some rather large documents. It also has a cover letter. Whoa, this is from Goliath's National Legal Law Firm. And it says, Dear Judge, in advance of the hearing on the defendant, motion to dismiss the amended complaint, I have enclosed one binder and the pertinent pleadings and two binders containing all of the cases cited in defendant's, USAA's, motion to dismiss the amended complaint that I submitted. The cases cited in the plaintiff's, amended complaint and the plaintiff's white paper filed in response to their motion to dismiss. We have highlighted in color relevant portions of some of the defendant, USAA's case. So I would like to show you, here's the first binder, which says hearing binder, hearing on defendant's USAA's motion to dismiss the amended complaint which I filed. Going further into the box, here is volume 1 of 2, case law for the amended document on defendant's motion to dismiss. You can see the extent of this. Well, this is pretty impressive. Well, let me dig deeper. Yep. Here is volume 2 of 2 on the same topic. This wasn't a Christmas present. This was more intimidation by Goliath to frighten me. As I mentioned earlier, I'm at a significant disadvantage in this battle. I am 5'10", and Goliath, according to Bible translations, was over 9 feet tall. 1 Samuel 17:4. At least it seems like this to me. Facing USAA with all of their mighty resources, we will soon meet the judge for a preliminary meeting to discuss our positions and Goliath's motion to dismiss my case. I am confident the case will continue into the discovery phase. At this time, I will seek to find and hire experts to give expert testimony on the effects of mold, fungus, and bacteria on human health, especially as experienced by my family. This will be extremely important for me in representing my case, which I am representing myself. I haven't hired any lawyer, any legal firm. I haven't sought any legal advice from any other source. My complaint, which I filed, I have a copy of here. And as you can see, it's rather extensive. This is an impact on my life which has consumed tremendous amount of time and research of the law in representing myself to present my case. This I need to do for the battle with Goliath. I humbly ask for your support in my battle. As I mentioned earlier, if a company treats one veteran badly, then they are certainly treating many more veterans badly. This lawsuit against Goliath, USAA, will hopefully get their attention and cause them to treat U.S. veterans better. Thank you.